Alrighty. Let's see. Where do we want to start first? Oh, let's go right to the thing that I was actually talking about, man. I actually didn't even have a graphic this one, but I did want to at least see how y'all was feeling about it, man. Have y'all seen what was going on with my man down in Tennessee? The young quarterback, man. Yeah, man. Nico, was it Iamaleava? Iamaleava. There we go. Iamaleava. There it is. Nico Iamaleava. That's how you say his name. Nico Iamaleava. Shout out to Nico, man. Obviously was the quarterback of Tennessee Volunteers, man. A little bit interesting story, man. NIL guy. Nice NIL deal going on at Tennessee. I think it was up to value. It was valued at $2.5 million currently. And rumblings has started popping up about him not showing up to a practice and then a meeting. And they said that it was him holding out to ultimately, get more NIL money. He was trying to get upwards of $4 million. So from there, Josh Heupel in Tennessee came back day later and basically, made the announcement to the team that, hey, this dude's done. He is no longer a part of this team. We will be moving forward without Nico as our quarterback. So you could only imagine how crazy it was this weekend, man, when you're talking about sports and NIL, college football, and just where we are from that capacity, man. And it's interesting, man, because, me, obviously I'm pre-NIL, so we had a different perspective on it compared to how it is now. But, when I look at the scenario, it is kind of wild that we're dealing with this at the collegiate ranks. I mean, essentially my man hit him with let me hit the holdout, or because it wasn't a hold in. Hold in would have been you showing up and not practicing. The holdout is you don't show up at all. We know NFL wise, man, that gets a little hot. All right. So that's why we typically been, evolving off of the hold out and transition into the hold in, just because it makes it a little bit simpler, a little bit easier optically. But obviously with that, I get what the kid was trying to do in terms of Nico, right? We could talk about greed. We could talk about at what point is enough. But I would also say, man, when you're getting it, there is no limit. Like, if you feel like your market value is 4 million and you think you can go get 4, go get 4. If you feel like your market is 10, go get 10. If that's the case, man, these quarterbacks we'll be talking about right now in the NFL level, they get, crazy amounts of money. If, they never actually asked for more, if they never actually tried to see what their market value truly, is, these numbers would never balloon to what they are. But we don't frown upon that. No different than we don't frown upon that in our personal work lives, right? Man, I could be getting, 5, whatever. And if I think I can get X more over there and the situation looks better, then yeah, to an extent, I am going to explore that. Now, the difference is there are multiple ways to go about doing that. And I think that that's the gray area when you're talking NILs. With some situations, man, professionally, we have contracts. These contracts have lengths. And with those lengths, they have repercussions, man. If I don't want this deal and I want to hold out, well, the team can either succumb to my, requests, or they can fine me, right? That's the NFL. That's how the team can still have some sort of power. But at the same time, I'm still able to say, well, hey, man, do you want me as a distraction? Do you want to be paying me, fining me, and me not playing for you? Is that worth it? Or do you want to just cut me this extra couple M's and, we're all good? But the problem is, NIL, you don't really have that type of structure. There is no real guidelines to these agreements because they're not done from the school. They're done through booster clubs and, these different, what are they calling them? Collectives. All right. And with that, yeah, you do run into these scenarios where kids are represented by agents, and we don't know the different qualifications of said agents, but they are represented by people who see opportunities to maximize earnings. And with that, yeah, you do run into this messy scenario where a kid is, because they were saying even going into the college football playoffs, my man was like, yo, I'll hold out of this game, pay me more. And I'm like, hey, bro, you're wilding right now. You are all the way out of pocket wilding, man. But I get it, though. It's like, man, if you don't know, how long you're going to be able to play this game, because we talk about we talk about just football in general. You're one play away, one injury away. So to an extent, yeah, you want to maximize. You want to get as much as you can in a short span as you can, because you don't know when your next or your last play will be. But the problem is, once you already have an agreement, man, you knew going into the season that there's a potential that you guys can make the postseason. That hadn't changed. You knew before the season started that, yeah, the postseason was expanded. You might even play in a conference championship game, and then from there you could have an additional 2 to 3 more games. You already knew that. So if you wanted to get that extra money for that, you're supposed to have negotiated that in the front end of the deal. You can't wait, from my perspective, to, the playoffs are here and now you want to renegotiate the deal. Nah, man, I don't have time for that. And there isn't enough precedent already set where we can go back and it's a simple, all right, this happens, so check that, and now boom, pay him. We don't have that right now. So I just think it makes it more and more messy, more and more just, how we want to handle this. Because I do see, how some people are crucifying the kid. Hey, bro, you greedy. Why you want that money? Or some people looking at him and saying, hey, doing what you're supposed to do, man. Get all you're supposed to get. Then you think about how the story came out about him being, looking for more money. They said, my man from Oregon, Dan Lannon. They said he's the one. They was reaching out and he called him up like, hey, bro, your man's over here looking for some paper, bro. He trying to hop up out of there, bro. Just you might want to check on that one, man. They saying that he snitched. Hey, look, man, if he ain't doing nothing illegal, what is snitching, right? We ain't no gangsters. We ain't no street dudes, man. We are regular civilians. So I see what Dan was doing. He said, bro, that ain't right. I don't like this. So, hey, what's going on here? But this is what the game is evolving to at the collegiate level. And until they get some structure, I don't think this is going to be the last time you have a Nico situation like this, where a guy is under an NIL agreement, but at some point wants to leverage production, leverage the success of the team, or just leverage their brand in the middle of the season or as it's going into the postseason. And I think until you get that structure around them deals, man, you got to just, play it on a case in, case out, or a case in and case out basis. I don't think there is a 100% this is how you handle it, because imagine if you're Colorado and this was Travis Hunter. And Travis Hunter going into the bowl game is like, hey, bro, I noticed the playoffs. I want more money, though. Now, granted, we know Coach Prime is going to handle that differently, but take out Coach Prime's different name, and that's that player that's saying that. Yeah, I think you might be a little bit more open to it just because of how dominant the Heisman Trophy winner was. Whereas with Nico still balled out, played well, but at the same time, man, we're not acting like Nico was having a Cam Ward or even a Trevor Lawrence, a Shador type, what's my man, Caleb Williams. It wasn't one of those type of seasons. So that's the part for me where I'm like, you got to kind of understand where you are in this thing. And yes, try to get as much money as you can, because you don't know when your last football snap is going to be. But at the same time, man, you got to have some type of like professionalism if you're going about it, because you're no longer playing kid games. When you start talking about this type of money, man, when you start negotiating with these universities, man, or these, boosters and however we're going about it, yeah, man, we're playing a grown man's game now. And with that, yeah, there are certain ramifications, man, that come with playing that type of game. And unfortunately for Nico, I think he's finding that out the hard way. And the people in his camp are also finding out the hard way. And that's why I say his camp, because I'm like, yeah, I know they say you got like some family members part of it. We obviously know the agent has been referenced as well. I don't know the specifics of who is who, but just as a whole, whoever's giving him advice, think we should, hopefully reassess the situation and see where we are going right and where we're going wrong. I know they said UNC was up there as one of the potential landing spots for him. And then I seen UNC pull out a little while ago as well. I was like, yeah, I'd have been surprised to see my man Belichick go for that one. I know he's been going for some new things, man. He's trying a lot of new things. All right. The youth movement has really caught his eye. But at the same time, he said, I ain't going for Nico. I can't go for that. No can do. No can do. So I get it, man. But shout out to Tennessee. Shout out to Josh Heupel. Shout out to the NIL. Shout out to Dan Lannon with Oregon. And shout out to Nico. All right. Iamaleava. I'm going to butcher the name, but it's all good. You know who I'm talking about, all right? And, yeah, we are going to see how this thing continues to evolve, man. But very, very interesting time we are in right now with NILs, man. True wild west, man. So you already know to hit the like button one time for the culture, and subscribe if you are new to the channel, baby. I like it. Okay. Oh, we got a super that just pulled up in here as well, man. Shout out to the homie Mike Hood. And yes, Hannibal, they for certain allowed them NILs without putting proper guidelines in place. I mean, but you know what it is? We see there is a issue here, and we want to correct said issue, and we are going to overcorrect. And this is some of the ramifications of overcorrecting it, man. Like I said, I'm pre-NIL, so I remember the fight, man. I remember when we first saw ourselves on NCAA, I was just hyped to be on the game. My boys over at, some of their colleges just hyped to be on the game. But we did hear about how some of the bigger school guys were pissed off. Like, yo, man, we should get paid for this. So I get it, man. When they sent that little NCAA check, it wasn't anything, but it felt cool. So I could only imagine me being in college and being able to leverage my brand, my on-field production, and the team or these boosters are actually willing to pay me money, and me feeling like, hey, I can actually negotiate this in a free market without any type of guidelines. Yeah, some of that would be very enticing, especially at, 18, 19, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, man. Somebody who's a little bit older than that, I know. But that would be enticing, man, because you're looking at it as a chance to, change your life. Most of these dudes, they're not coming from crazy financial situations, and their families aren't either. So with that, everybody's in the air. Hey, bro, can you get more? I know you can get more. Come on, man. You can get more, right? Can you get more? Can you get more? So I just think it's across the board, man, a lot that those dudes got to deal with right now. And yeah, it is not going to be easy, but they getting paid a ton, man. So hopefully they figure it out sooner rather than later. But boy, it is crazy out here, man. Shout out to them NIL dudes, though, man. Shout out to the NILs.